Calls to declare a revolutionary government are revived through an assembly in Pampanga on Saturday, August 22. A group calling themselves Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte National Executive Coordinating Committee gathered at the Clark Freeport in Pampanga to present a manifesto calling for the change in government supposedly backed by 300 supporters. The Duterte supporters want a revolutionary government with Duterte as head to usher in charter change. Vice President Leni Robredo calls it a big joke, reiterating her frustration at officials and supporters focusing on political matters instead of putting all efforts into the COVID-19 response. Elections Commissioner Rowena Guanzon says the joke going around is that some groups are going to topple the government and install the president as head of a revolutionary government. Creative. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines says a revolutionary government is unconstitutional, and there is no legal, factual, practical, or moral basis for a revolutionary government under the present circumstances. Meantime, presidential spokesman Harry Roque distances the palace from the issue, saying the calls were from private individuals freely expressing their opinion. He adds it can be considered protected speech, as there was no clear and present danger arising from their speech. Solicitor General Jose Calida files an urgent motion asking the Supreme Court to cancel oral arguments over the anti-terror law. There are currently 29 petitions filed against the anti-terror law, and the Supreme Court earlier said it will hold oral arguments by end of September at the earliest. Calida says in-person oral arguments will violate prohibitions on mass gatherings. He cites the presence of the Chief Justice and the Associate Justices, at least 300 petitioners and their respective counsels, an estimate of 16 lawyers from the Office of the Solicitor General and their respective support staff, representatives from the respondents, and the members of the Office of the Clerk of Court. Calida adds even virtual oral arguments will still violate mass gathering rules because a group of people will have to gather in one place. As an example, Calida says the United States Supreme Court had to cancel 9 oral arguments during the pandemic, but the U.S. Supreme Court pushed through with some oral arguments via teleconferencing on big cases like President Donald Trump's financial records. The Solicitor General in his petition adds, quote, "There is no guarantee that oral arguments conducted through video conference will go smoothly, considering the sheer number of parties and counsels and the uneven quality of local internet service." Customers of the Manila Electric Company or Meralco now have until October 31 to settle their unpaid bills before their electricity lines will be cut off. The announcement comes after lawmakers asked the power company to extend its no power disconnection period. The extension applies to consumers who have so far failed to pay their bills when their areas were placed under Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ and Modified ECQ. Meralco earlier set the deadline for the payment of unpaid electricity bills until September 30. Meralco President and Chief Executive Officer Ray Espinosa adds, some 2.77 million lifeline customers of Meralco, or those who consume less than 100 kilowatt-hours of electricity per month, will be getting discounts in their distribution charges. Back-to-back explosions rocked downtown Jolo around noon Monday, August 24. The military says at least 14 people are dead and 75 are wounded. The first explosion happened at around 11:55 a.m. when an improvised explosive device or IED went off along Cervantes Street, Barangay Walled City in downtown Jolo. 6 soldiers are killed in this first blast. The second explosion happened at around 1:15 p.m. along Sanchez Street, also in Barangay Walled City. This blast kills 1 more soldier and wounds at least 3 soldiers and 6 police. The military says the second explosion was caused by a female suicide bomber with suspected links to Abu Sayyaf bomber Mundi Sawadjaan, nephew of Abu Sayyaf sub-leader and Islamic State head in the Philippines, Hadjan Sawadjaan. The island province of Sulu is the lair of the Abu Sayyaf terrorist group. UST Growling Tigers former team captain CJ Cansino is set to leave UST and join the UP Fighting Maroons. He says last Friday, August 21, he never wanted to leave UST in the first place but was forced to do so by the team. He says, "You can't really force yourself to stay and I still have a dream for myself, which is why I'm sad that I have to leave even though I don't want to." Sources say players of UST's senior varsity team have been in Sorsogon since June, with videos allegedly showing the Tigers training at a local court. The players grew physically tired and, by their own description, mentally drained, prompting the players to ask that they return to their homes amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It was Cansino who was outspoken about the issue and he eventually left Sorsogon, Coach Alden Ayo's hometown. In a carefully worded statement Sunday, April 23, Ayo says the circumstances of life today have brought out the marked differences between my orientation in life and the fundamental option of our player, CJ Cansino. Meantime, the University of Santo Tomas is conducting an internal probe on the basketball team's bubble trainings in Sorsogon.